Welcome back to more Summoner's War Monster Strategies. Today we're going to be looking at the King of Sweepers, Raoq. I mean, I don't know about King, but definitely one of the best sweepers for his passive, but I'll talk about that in a bit. Before that though, let's go ahead and, well, go to the Raoq first, right here. Here he is. Raoq is the Fire Inugami. So everybody knows that this guy is extremely useful for farming, you know, and just training up the monsters. Let's go ahead and talk about his stats first. So, as a 6-star level 40, he has 9060 HP, an attack stat of 681, a defense power of 527, and speed of 108. So, the HP is actually pretty good, despite being a, just pure physical attacker. At least the HP combined with his defense, it's not terrible. He's not terribly squishy, unlike other monsters that have like around that much HP, but about 400-ish defense. I mean, he's still somewhat squishy, but not a lot. Anyway, his attack power is not extremely high. It's not, 700-ish or 800, for the high ones. So, it's average. And his speed, it's respectable, 108. Any speed over 105 is pretty good, really. Let's go ahead and talk about his skills now. So here's his first one, Scratch. Now Scratch says attacks with giant claws to weaken the enemy's defense with a 50% chance and attacks consecutively with a 30% chance. This skill is actually really interesting because it works very similar to, the Sill's attack, in which it can attack again. The reason why it's really interesting is because you can use Violent, and combining Violent with this, you get a lot of turns, you do. But I'll talk about that in a bit once I get to runes. And the next one is Team Up. Teams up with another ally to attack an enemy, cool time, turn -1, so it's reusable in 3 turns. The interesting thing about this skill is that not only are you going to attack with an ally, but the ally is randomly chosen, and that ally that's randomly chosen will actually get a cool time turn passing for their turn. For example, if you use a 2-turn cool time with, let's say, who should I go with? Let's go with Bernard. Bernard uses Body Slam, okay? It's a 2-turn cool time. Raoq is next. He uses Team Up. Team Up picks Bernard to attack, so Bernard uses, of course, the first skill because it forces them to use the first skill, Snatch. And then, Bernard's next turn is up. He can use Body Slam again right away because it does pass a turn for them, for the ally. It's really interesting, and sometimes it can be pretty useful. I mean, you can't really strategize because it's random with Team Up on who it picks, but sometimes it can save you, this randomizer thing. And then, Annihilate, passive, get an extra turn if you kill the enemy. So, this is the key as to why Raoq is an amazing sweeper. He can just chain kill everybody, just, kill, next zone, kill, next zone. It's crazy. It's really fast too. Let's go ahead and talk about, well, his runes, because you want to see what the hell to do, right? Yeah, okay, so his runes. It's definitely interesting, to say the least, because there's a lot of choices you can make. Overall, it's very flexible. Here's why. With Raoq, you can actually do, people would say, 4 different combinations for the 4-slot combo. You can use Fatal. You can use Rage. You can use Swift. You can use Violent. I have seen all 4 of those with Raoqs, and they all work pretty good. They do. I mean, some usually work a bit better. For example, you could say Violent arguably works better because of his freaking first thing, your first skill, but of course it's still, in the end, depending on the RNG. Hopefully you get lucky. Sometimes you can go a whole sweeping, round without a single proc, and that's not good, but I'm not saying it's bad. No, Violent is a freaking amazing rune. Everybody knows that. Violent runes are good. But if you want consistency, Fatal would probably be the best one because his critical rate is not going to be extremely high, unless you use a critical rate on slot 4, but I'll be talking about that soon. For a slot 2 rune, I've pretty much only seen Blade. That's what I would say. So use either Fatal, Rage, Swift, Violent with Blade. That's that. For his other runes, okay, let's talk about this. His slot 2 is, well, usually attack percentage, or some people like to use Swift or Speed. Again, when I say Swift, Speed, it's really the same thing, you know what I mean. Swift equals speed, whatever. But, yeah, people use either attack percentage or they use speed, and that's pretty much all I've seen on him. For slot 4, however, I've seen attack percentage, I've seen critical damage percentage, I've seen critical rate percentage. And for slot 6, I've seen attack percentage, and that's pretty much it. One time I saw some accuracy thing, but that's really not too useful. But only for the first skill. No. It's better to just use attack. So those are his runes now. However, just by saying this, I'm not saying to, pick any one of the random 4 and then pick any slots that you want for, 2 and 4. No. You have to be strategic. For example, if you use, let's say, Rage. If you use Rage Blade, Rage is a critical damage percentage bonus. If you do that, you must get his critical rate very high. You must. Because of that, most people would say, okay, put critical rate in slot 4 if you're going to use Rage for, his rune, his 4-set rune, which makes sense. Be strategic. If you're going to use Swift to try and speed him up, I guess in a way it would make sense to try and give him speed for slot 2 to make him extremely fast. Lower attack power per hit, but extremely fast. Or you can use Violent, with speed on slot 2 also, just to get a lot of turns and more speed too. That'll work too. But yeah, there are a lot of different choices. Now, for substats, I mean, it's pretty obvious. You want to get some speed, you want to get some attack percentage, you want to get some critical damage percentage, and some critical rate percentage. All 4 of those is what you want as your main priority. Now let's talk about my Raoq. Mine is right here, and I'm using the most basic and probably the most consistent setup. Fatal Blade. So, his slot 1 rune is a 5-star, and it has speed +5, resistance +12%, critical damage 8%, attack 6%, critical rate 3%. Pretty good. Everything is useful here. I mean, resistance is pretty much universally good, even though some monsters benefit from it more than others. The next one is a slot 2 rune, of course, 6-star. Attack +47%, attack +15, speed +6, accuracy +7%, and critical rate +6%. That's another useful rune for Raoq. I like that substats. The slot 3 rune is a defense, of course, because it's slot 3, but critical rate 12%, HP +189, speed +4, accuracy +7%. Another very useful rune for him, at least with speed and critical rate and even accuracy. Slot 4 rune, I only have it as a 4-star, but it's +15. I +15 this like way back when I started playing the game, back when I realized you shouldn't really +15 4-star runes, so, noob status on me, yeah, back then. Alright, whatever, but, I mean, at least it's +15 now, so, so it's a nice bonus, temporarily. Attack +43%. HP +6%, critical damage +4%, HP 171, and speed +2, again, it's gonna get replaced eventually, I'll work on it eventually. Slot 5 rune. It's a 6-star rune, HP +1800, critical rate +6%, defense +18%, that's really good, attack +19, accuracy 5%. And the last one is a +15 blade rune, attack +63% with attack +16, accuracy 6%, HP +8%, resistance 6%, and speed +6. His attack stat is +1471, so he has over 2000 attack. In addition to, 62% critical damage, and he has 54% critical rate, which is pretty good considering I don't have a slot 4 critical rate rune. So that is pretty much Raoq. He is, like I said, an exceptional sweeper, very good at just farming, sweeping, and yeah, really useful. I like him a lot. I made mine consistently because I don't want to depend on too much RNG, for certain monsters. For others, yeah, but not for Raoq. I'd rather just, trying to have him one-shot a bunch of monsters by having some massive attack, and it's been working out pretty well. It has. But that is Raoq. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. And again, as always, if you have any more suggestions, any more rune setups, go ahead and leave a comment, so other people can actually see the comment, not just the ones that I put on the video. It's just to help other people too. I'm sure people would appreciate it. So anyway, thank you for watching, goodbye everybody, and as always, until next time.